The Harwich Mariners look to build on Wednesday night's first victory of 2021 and take down the red-hot, undefeated Bourne Braves on this Friday night edition of Cape Cod Baseball League action. Coming at you live from White House Field alongside Tim Foley, I'm Colin Casey. Well, Tim, ironically, it was a power outage that sparked the M's 5-run outburst against Hyannis during Wednesday's 5-2 Harwich win. But let's face it, Mariners are going to need even more offense tonight against a Bourne team that's hitting .336.
Yeah, they have just been dangerous as a team to start this season. A couple guys who have been big for them to open things up here. Reggie Crawford for the Braves as he opens up the year 6 for 15. Tied for the most hits in the league so far. He's got 2 runs, 2 doubles, a home run, and an RBI to his name. Nick Goodwin as well, another big name for these Braves, hitting 5 for 10 with 3 runs, a double, and a home run and 2 RBI. And then another guy who's not on the lineup tonight, Braylon Wimmer. He's got 2 home runs as the Braves are blowing out the competition on the offensive side of things to open up 2021.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Joe Lampe to be in the ball game, the Arizona State center fielder, as he is facing Andrew Mosiello, making his first start of the Cape League season. 2-1 the count. Mosiello out of the University of Oregon. Working quickly from the windup, the 2-1. That will miss low. Mosiello sitting at 92 on that last fastball. Good velo early, but can't get the control as that is ball 4. Down to first base goes Joe Lampe, and the leadoff man is on for the Bourne Braves. Let's take a look at the rest of the Braves lineup as Christian Knapzik stands in, the shortstop batting second. Kyler Fedko returns to Bourne in right field, batting third, the Yukon Husky, followed by his Yukon teammate, Reggie Crawford, the DH, who's been swinging a really hot bat to start the season. He is batting fourth. Nick Goodwin, the third baseman, bats fifth as that pitch misses up and in. Colby Thomas, the left fielder, bats sixth. Joshua Moylan, first baseman, is seventh. Colton Bender behind the plate, he bats eighth. And Tanner Schobel, the second baseman out of Virginia Tech, he rounds out the Bourne lineup. Big lead off of first, a swing and a ground ball outside the first base bag, I should say.
And an interesting open to the game for Mosiello, opening up with a walk. He didn't see that too often from him over at Oregon. He only had 8 on the year after 39 and a third innings pitched, and opening up his Cape League debut with one in his first at-bat, or his first batter face, I should say.
Pickoff move to first, back in time. Knapzik, again out of Louisville. Looking to continue his strong start to the season as the pitch misses inside 2-1. Hitting .385, 5 for 13. It's driven in a couple of runs. That on-base percentage up at .500.
Yeah, Bourne's been excelling at every facet of the game so far to open up this season. I mean, they have, as that ball's fouled off, count 2-2, they have the most runs in the league right now, the most total bases, the most hits at 39, and they have 12 extra base hits, and their slash line, all first in the conference, or in the league, I should say. .336 average, .415 on base percentage, and .560 slugging, all good for first in the league.
Another throw over on Lampe. He's back with a dive. Joe Lampe has yet to steal a bag this Cape League season. The Braves have just stolen 2 through 3 games. Fouled off right off the leg of Knapzik.
Yeah, that's one aspect of their game that they don't like to, or they it doesn't seem to be with them so far, is their ability to play small ball, steal some bases, get a few chances here and there. But, I mean, you don't have to when you're sending the ball into the outfield nearly every at-bat. And so their style of play has worked well for them so far in the season.
2-2 runner going. Swinging a drive out towards left center field. Good jump on it by Malgeri. And he runs it down in left center for out number 1. Lampe retreats to first base. He had plenty of time to get back there, but he got a really good jump off of first base trying to attempt that steal. And will take this time now to set the Harwich Mariners defense. Tatum Levins behind the plate for Andrew Mosiello. Andrew Jenkins at first base. Corey Acton at second. Hal Hughes at short. And Josh Hood at third. Cade Beloso in left field. Ben Malgeri in center. And Nick Lucky out in right field once again. Mosiello working from the stretch as he faces Kyler Fedko. First pitch to Kyler is on the outside corner. Of course, Kyler's brother Christian was a middle infielder for the Mariners in 2019. Got off to a really hot start in the month of June. I think he was hitting as high as 385 at one point, contending for the Cape League batting title. Breaking ball misses just outside.
Yeah, he had a really good summer for the Mariners, 2019. And of course, they have seen Kyler before, and so perhaps the Mariners coaching staff with a bit of a scouting report on him, having seen him 2 years ago.
Kyler hitting 286. No homers, 2 RBIs. Another check on Lampy. No surprise after he was going on that attempted hit and run with Knapsick, previous at-bat. Mosiello comes home, and he leaves one in the dirt. Completely overcast here in Harwich just after first pitch. Lights already on. Not even at 7 o'clock yet when the sun starts to really go down. 2-1 is fouled straight back.
Yeah, and you'll see it, interestingly enough, with these cloudy days. Sometimes it actually stays a little bit brighter for a little bit longer, just because the cloud coverage kind of helps to keep things in. See that lights on early here. I think it's the earliest we've seen them on so far this season.
2-2. Just below the knees to the Big East Championship most outstanding player. No surprise to see Fedko win that distinction after hitting .398 with 12 home runs and 53 runs batted in for the Huskies. 3-2 again. Lampy takes off. That's in there for strike 3. The throw down is off the glove of Corey Acton. Don't think the throw would have gotten Lampy in time, so he's into second with a stolen base, but with 2 down in the top of the first.
Yeah, really nice jump. And I mean, he'd been chomping at the bit, really, ever since he had gotten on first base, and he finally does make a go for it, and he gets down safely. Good effort on the hustle there from Lampy.
So in steps Reggie Crawford, also a UConn Husky. Takes a big cut, comes up empty for strike 1. Crawford swinging arguably the hottest bat in all the Cape lately. 6 of 15 to start the season with a pair of doubles, a home run, and an RBI. Looking to bring home an early run. Mosiello's 0-1. Just below the knees at 85.
And I know we've talked a bit about in previous broadcasts how it takes some time for offense to kind of gel together, get going, get guys accustomed, and that's Harwich is kind of going through that now. But you want to see an example of a team that just clicks. It's this born team on all sides of the field. They're pitching as well, as we'll get into that.
Check swing by Crawford. They say he did go around, and the count is now 1-2.
Yeah, tough to lay off that one. Nice pitch from Mosiello. And we talked to pitching coach Steve Gruenberger before the game, and he says that Mosiello really throws a bit of everything. So these born batters are going to have their hands full.
And that time he throws a high fastball, and Crawford chases after it for strike 3. So a pair of strikeouts in the first inning for Andrew Mosiello, and the Mariners put up a 0 on the red-hot Bourne Braves bats. We head to the home half of inning number 1. No score from White House Field. You're watching Harwich Mariners baseball on the Mariners YouTube network. Bottom of the first inning from Harwich, Massachusetts. The Mariners look to get the bats going. And they will do so against Hunter Omlid, the Central Arizona Junior College alum. Well, not quite alum just yet, but Omlid was actually just activated. This is the second straight game, Tim. We've seen a pitcher that was recently activated quickly starting. So do you think there's going to be a bit of an adjustment period for a guy like Omlid, especially facing some D1 talent coming out of a smaller school?
I mean, we'll have to see, but one would assume so. His team making it all the way to the 2021 JUCO Finals, and so clearly coming from a talented squad, a couple ballers on that team who know how to drive a team deep into a tournament. We'll have to see what he brings to the table, but I've seen it before. I've said it before. I'll say it again. You know, guys can play at any level. You know, it doesn't matter where you are. It's how you perform, and so we'll see how Omlid does. We'll see how Omlid does. Ball's in his hand at this point.
1-0 count to Nick Lucky, the leadoff hitter for the Mariners. Lucky still trying to hit the ground running here at the Cape. Just 1 for 11 thus far as he swings and fouls the pitch off. Does have a run scored, though, and a walk. But those 5 strikeouts, something he's trying to cut down on as a leadoff hitter. The 1-1 misses just below the knees.
And you understand why he's in the leadoff spot and why he's opened up every single game in the leadoff spot, because we've seen his speed on display in the outfield so many times, and it comes to a point where, you know, your guy got to get on base as well as he hits one over to short.
One hopper to short, fielded cleanly by Knapsick. The throw in plenty of time for out number 1, so Omlid off to a good start. And no surprise given the numbers that he put up at Central Arizona Junior College. 13-1, a 3.31 earned run average. Umpiring crew for today's game. Joe Caraco is behind home plate. Mike Robidoux over at first. Mark Delaney at third. So here is Josh Hood. He watches a ball formerly of Penn, soon to be of NC State, who has had quite the adventure this afternoon as they push for their championship hopes in Omaha. 2-0 count.
Yeah, quite the eventful day for NC State, to say the least. Luckily in the upper bracket, so they'll get another chance tomorrow.
2-0 misses low. A little bit of a check swing from Hood, but he did not swing, so a real hitter's count at 3-0.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets the green light here. Might force, try and force Omlid to throw a strike. Might let him miss.
Puts that one on the outside corner at 84.
Yeah, didn't seem to have any intention there. Wanted to try and force Omlid to control what he's throwing. Probably going to look to take the bat off the shoulder here.
There's a big swing and a foul ball from Hood. Omlid is prone to the home run ball. He gave up 12 over 89 2/3 innings pitched. But the strikeout to walk ratio certainly where he wants it. 97 strikeouts to 23 walks. Payoff pitch hit on the ground up the middle and just past the second base bag for a base hit. Josh Hood continues to swing a hot bat, and he's on with a 1-out single in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, we talked about some of these Bourne guys to open up the broadcast here today, but Josh Hood's one of these guys so far for Harwich who's been hitting it well. 2 for 6 with a double and 2 RBI, 2 stolen bases as well, so he stays active once he gets on.
Brock Wilkin digs in, and here's the rest of the Mariners lineup, how it will follow. Wilkin, of course, the DH batting third. Cade Beloso in the cleanup spot out in left field, currently leading the CCBL in batting average. Tatum Levins is catcher out of Pitt, bats fifth. There's a first pitch strike to Wilkin. Andrew Jenkins bats sixth. He will play first. Corey Acton over at second, bats seventh. Hal Hughes, the shortstop, bats eighth. And Ben Malgieri out in center field rounds out the Harwich lineup. Quick throw on the runner. Back with a dive is Hood. Brock Wilkin Had the big hit 2 nights ago. A 2-run, I think it ended up being a long single down the left field line due to some miscommunications on the base paths, but it was the difference maker in that big 7th inning for the Mariners. The 0-1, that's over for strike 2.
He has just been excellent to start the season, Wilkin. Another one of these guys for Harwich. As you said, he's been getting on. 5 for 10 to open up the season. He's also been hit by a couple of pitches, so he knows how to, here he is crowding the plate in the batter's box now, so he really likes to try and play some mind games with the pitchers when he's in the box.
Omelet's 0-2. Just missing low. He's getting a lot of straight stuff, which is the opposite of what we saw from Hyannis pitching on Wednesday. They gave him a ton of breaking balls.
Yeah, and it comes down to it. Pitchers, sometimes there's a scouting report on what a guy isn't so good at hitting as Hood dives back. Sometimes as a pitcher, you just want to throw what you're most comfortable throwing, regardless of what a scouting report might indicate a guy is good at hitting.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the 1st inning. Mariners looking to get back to 500 on the season after dropping their first 2 games against Orleans and YD, respectively. And Omelet comes home. Check swing, and they're going to say he went around for strike 3. I thought it might have been called. It was pretty close at the knees, but Wilkin does not get the benefit of the doubt. First strikeout for Omelet, 2 away in the home half of the 1st.
Just to talk a bit about last night's game, I'd have to say that was likely the most complete performance we've seen from this Harwich Mariners team so far. The pitching's been there. This is a pitching staff that's coming into form. But last night, the bats really got going for the first time all season long.
And the Mariners had been, as there's a quick throw over to first, back with a dive again as Hood. The Mariners, up until that 3rd inning, when they were able to get on the board, it had been 12 innings since their last run had been scored. They had really struggled at the plate. They're looking to turn it around, and they did so in a big way against Hyannis, especially in that 7th inning. Big reason why they were able to turn it around is Beloso at the plate, who has just been easily their most consistent hitter. Doing a nice job of reaching base, even if the extra base hits haven't really been there yet. Hood runs, and Beloso hits one out towards center field. That sends Lampy back, makes a catch in front of the warning track out in center, and the inning is over. So Josh Hood able to notch a 1-out single, but nothing happening for the Mariners. We're through 1 from White House Field, no score. You're watching Harwich Mariners baseball on the Mariners YouTube network. I'd grab another, but I was struggling to talk. Oh. We head to the 2nd here at White House Field. No score between the Harwich Mariners and the visiting Bourne Braves. Mariners fans, Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science. Online at www.curry.edu. Andrew Mosiello looks to build off of a successful 1st inning. Was able to escape a leadoff walk to Joe Lampy and get the final 3 outs, including a pair of punch-outs to UConn's Kyler Fedko and Reggie Crawford. But now it'll be Nick Goodwin out of Kansas State, the third baseman, trying to light a spark for this Bourne Braves lineup that hasn't really needed too many sparks the way their bats have been going the last couple of games, as Goodwin watches ball 1 low.
Yeah, it was a bit of a slow start for Mosiello in that last inning, but you could tell he settled in as he throws a strike here. He really settled in towards the end of that at-bat, striking out, or towards the end of that inning, striking out 2 really good hitters in Kyler Fedko and Reggie Crawford.
Starting pitching, certainly a strength for the Mariners through the first few games, as breaking ball is on the outside corner for strike 2, and doesn't even account the strong 3 innings that Schlittler went against Orleans in the game that was discontinued. Cam Schlittler out of Northeastern with a strong start, as there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Goodwin can't catch up to that one. The third strikeout for Mosiello, 1 away in the second.
Yeah, I think Schlittler had about 5 strikeouts through those first 3. So as you said, pitching really right off the bat for Harwich, doing its job. And that's, it's good to have things going in one facet of your game, and then hoping the offense now gets going.
First pitch is popped up by Colby Thomas, just over the backstop. Levens gave it a look, but it is out of play. Thomas, the left fielder out of Mercer. So far this Cape League season, he is hitting .333, only 3 at-bats. One of them resulted in a hit and a run scored. The 0-1 misses outside.
And I imagine it's got to be quite the task today for Levens, because as we said, Mosiello likes to throw a little bit of everything, and so behind the plate he's going to have to, of course he's going to know what pitch is coming, but he's going to have to catch a whole lot of everything today.
Thomas swings in, fouls that one straight back. Thomas drafted in 2019 out of high school by the Baltimore Orioles in the 37th round. Hit .247 for Mercer this spring. 1-2 at 68 miles an hour. That slow breaking ball from Mosiello misses outside.
Yeah, we joked he had a bit of an ephus pitch perhaps in his toolkit, and that one with the 6 and the 10s digit. Don't see that too often.
He goes low once again. Does not get Thomas to chase. Runs the count full.
Yeah, and a bit of a battle here. Nice patience from Thomas to hold off on a lot of these pitches.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Thomas waves at 1 out of the strike zone. 4 consecutive strikeouts for Mosiello and 2 down in the second.
I mean, that's just confidence. With a full count like that, to have something end up outside, low and away, and have the guy chase after it, that's really nice pitching there for Mosiello to get the second out.
Mariners pitching came into today's game with 24 strikeouts, averaging 8 per contest, as Josh Moylan watches strike 1. Well on pace to hit that 8 threshold with 4 in less than 2 innings. The 0-1 up and in. Josh Moylan out of East Carolina. 1 for 6 on the young season, but he has drawn 3 walks, so the discipline has been there for the left-handed batter. Two-one for Mosiello. Strike at the knees.
Yeah, cranking it up a bit, throwing that one at 89. Want to make sure he doesn't fall behind 3-1.
Deuces are wild. The 2-2 with 2 out. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Andrew Mosiello strikes out the side in the second. That is now 5 straight punch-outs for the right-hander out of Oregon. The Braves go down in order, 1, 2, 3. We head to the home half of the second, still scoreless from White House Field. You're watching Mariners baseball on the Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back to Harwich, Massachusetts. Colin Casey joined by Tim Foley as the Harwich Mariners play host to the Bourne Braves on this Friday night. You notice red shirts worn by the Harwich Mariners with their cream-colored home pants, and that's how it is in the Cape League, the home team wearing red to support the military for Military Appreciation Night on every Friday. And really cool story for the Mariners as they are as part of this celebration. As Tatum Levens digs in, they do have a World War II jacket hanging in their dugout for tonight's game.
Yeah, that was really cool to see, worn during World War II as a part of the big red one, as they put it. So a really cool item in the Mariners dugout as the Red Shirt Friday celebration kicks off for the first time this season and in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
1-0, check swing. No signal, so I believe that was ruled a ball for Levens. Levens draws back into the lineup this afternoon. That one's called a strike. Got the game off in the win against Hyannis on Wednesday, so he's certainly fresh. 1 for 6 on the season. Also has drawn a walk as he takes a huge swing, fouls it straight back off of Colton Bender, who goes down in a heap. And he is a little bit stung as manager Harvey Shapiro heading out to check on his catcher, as training staff also going to take a quick look at him.
Yeah, Levens got a piece of that one, fouled it back. Not sure where it might have hit off of, as training staff is speaking with him now.
And Levens knows more than anything how tough you got to be to play the catcher position. And just got caught in a bad spot with that one. So as they take a look at Colton Bender, and he's going to climb back to his feet, thankfully. But in the meantime, let's take a quick look around the Cape League, as all games now in action as we hit 7 o'clock here on the East Coast. All games in progress. Brewster had a 4-0 lead early on. That lead has been cut in half by the Chatham Anglers, bottom of the 5th inning from Stony Brook Field. 4-2, Brewster on top. Katuitt, wow, have they gotten off to a great start, as a grand slam has helped them build a substantial lead through 5 innings in Yarmouth, as Cavaliers lead 13-2 over the Red Sox. And looks like Bender is good to go. He's talking with the training staff, and now they're kind of motioning him towards the dugout. Are they going to make a substitution? Really confusing here in terms of what's going on, but I think they'd rather be safe than sorry, and that's the case. You wonder if maybe that foul ball had caught him towards the head and he's just a little bit dazed.
Not quite sure. Sometimes with these, you can just knock the wind out of you. You need a minute to recover. Don't want to project too much as to what it could be, of course. Hoping he's all right. as he takes a step to the side. We'll have to see if they give him another minute to recover or if they suit somebody else up. I think I see somebody else with the pads on in the dugout. We might see somebody hop out here in a second.
Yeah, no need to risk something like that this early in the Cape League season. It's important to prioritize the player's health first before any on-field results. So credit to Shapiro for catching the signs early and heading out to take a look at his catcher, and seems like he wants to play it safe and go with the substitution. So
certainly, and I mean, it's summer league. You know, it's a lot more laid back, as you sometimes hear. But the unfortunate reality is that injuries do still happen to these guys as they're trying to advance their their draft stock, so to speak.
Looks like Peter Burns is the replacement catcher for Colton Bender. So the BC Eagle Burns with a quick conference with his pitcher Hunter Omlid. And remember, this at-bat is still active. 2-2 is the count to Tatum Levins with still nobody out. A couple of warm-up pitches being thrown for Omlid, which makes a lot of sense as he had been waiting for a decent amount of time. They'll give us an opportunity to catch up on the rest of the out-of-town scores. Hyannis with a 2-1 lead in the top of the fourth inning over the Falmouth Commodores in a Western Division matchup. And then out in Wareham at Spillane Field, the Gatemen with a 2-0 lead in front of their home crowd against the Orleans Firebirds, who were just at home last game. Now they had to make the trip all the way to Wareham. So two complete extremes for the Firebirds as they look to continue their good start to the season, sitting at 2-1. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out in the bottom of the second inning. Tatum Levins, former LaSalle Explorer, future member of Pittsburgh, watches a 2-2 breaking ball miss inside. Count is now full.
And you got to wonder what that's like. Of course, those accounts now full, but what it's like as a batter to have your at-bat disrupted and then have to come back in and try and square up a pitch.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Levins could not catch up to the heater. Omlid picks up his second strikeout of the game, and there is one down in the bottom of the second.
Nice pitch by Omlid. Went low on the 2-2. Of course, couldn't get Levins to bite, but then Levins perhaps looking for something down low again. Got blown right by with the high fastball.
That'll bring up Andrew Jenkins, the freshman out of Georgia Tech, Atlanta native. Jenkins has got another mound visit. Maybe Burns just double-checking the signs. It can be tough as a catcher when you come in as a defensive replacement in the middle of an inning, trying to get in sync with your pitcher. So Burns trying to make sure that. You can see his BC Eagles maroon pads, supporting his college and a really talented Boston College team that he plays for. First pitch to Jenkins, misses for ball 1. Jenkins 2 for 13 on the Young Cape season. Swings and pops this one foul. It will make its way out of play behind us. Jenkins, out of high school, was regarded as a third baseman, a third base prospect, but since attending Georgia Tech as a freshman, spent a lot of time over at first, and he has so far in this Cape League season as well. He's behind 1 and 2 to Omlid.
Yeah, you'll get that. I mean, sometimes you go to college and maybe you're not done growing yet. You come in as a freshman, a coach says, hey, I think your build would be better used on this side of the diamond or in this particular way.
1-2 breaking ball sent just outside of first. Moylan makes a couple of steps back, makes the catch in foul territory. The Braves have 2 outs to begin the home half of the second.
Yeah, and then just to finish the point that coaches they'll put you around, they'll experiment, they'll find what you like, and then and as I said, sometimes you're more built for a certain position, and clearly with Jenkins, he's got that first baseman build.
First pitch to Corey Acton is swung on and missed. You'll see stories like that even in minor league baseball with guys changing their positions. Kenley Jansen was brought up as a catcher before becoming a closing pitcher for the LA Dodgers. So 0-1 is in for strike two. Of course, for those movie buffs, Scott Hatterberg, who had never played first base before, was always known as a catcher, but he had nerve damage in his elbow. A's wanted him for his ability to get on base, so they taught him how to play first base. As Acton sends this one out towards left field, that sends Thomas back, turning around, and he makes the catch on the warning track to end the inning. So a loud out number 3 for Corey Acton. But we stay scoreless through 2 innings at White House Field. You're watching Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Top of inning number 3, Andrew Mosiello looks to continue his strong start to this ball game. He has struck out each of his last 5 batters. And while he has been extremely impressive, Tim, in pregame we talked about the Bourne Braves bats, but their bats kind of overshadow what their pitching has done this season. As a team, they have a 2.67 ERA, and Hunter Omlid has certainly also looked strong in his first start of 2021.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it towards the end of that second inning, perhaps. But Bourne's pitching, or towards the end of the, towards the end of the bottom of the second, or top of the second, I should say. Pardon me. But Bourne's pitching has been really excellent so far to start the season. That's been doing an excellent job. They've allowed the fewest earned runs in the league so far this year, as well as the second fewest hits so far in the league at 20. And then they've also had great control of their stuff. Only 8 walks allowed so far in the young season. That's good for third fewest in the league. Only Harwich and Wareham have fewer at 5 each. And so Mosiello's on the mound.
Colton Bender at the plate. Remember, he was taken out as he swings the first pitch and fouls it back after getting dazed by a foul tip and replaced by Peter Burns. But per NCAA legislation, he's eligible to re-enter after being checked out and cleared, and that has been the case, which is great news for the Quinnipiac Bobcat. Great to see him back there and swinging the bat. Count now 1-1 to him.
Certainly, great to see him back out there. Especially the way he went down after taking that ball, perhaps to the chest. Certainly looked dazed, but good to see him up in the batter's box.
1-1 from Mosiello, misses outside. Mosiello, 6'2", 200-pound freshman out of Oregon. Are able to even the count at 2-2. His first career start actually came in the Eugene Regional Final against LSU. So he hasn't exactly had too much experience as a starter, at least recently, but certainly looking the part so far in his first start of 2021 with the Mariners. Payoff pitch, check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Strikeout number 6, and the 6th in a row for Andrew Mosiello. 1 down in the top of the third.
He's got a lot going on right now, but to your point about him having his first career start in the Eugene Regional Final against LSU, you'll get guys who come to the Cape and, kind of the goal for the season is to stretch out a bit your capabilities as a pitcher and become a starter. And so Mosiello certainly, I mean, just looking at the scorebook I've got in front of me right now, not too concerned about his approach as a starter as opposed to a reliever.
Second baseman Tanner Schobel digs in for his first plate appearance of the game. Count even at 1-1 to him. Virginia Tech middle infielder. Now ahead 2-1. Schobel, in a small sample size, has been outstanding to start this year. 4 for 5 with a home run. Also he's second on the team in runs batted in with 4. So he has made a name for himself quickly with the Braves. He's ahead 3-1 to Mosiello. And it's a towering pop-up behind the plate. Levins gives it a look and just runs out of room as it makes its way onto the pavement just beyond the backstop. Full count, 3-2. Andrew Mosiello looking for his 7th consecutive punch-out.
We've seen a lot of full count so far from Mosiello, but only the 1 walk. I mean, he likes to kind of work the count.
Payoff pitch is grounded foul towards the Mariners dugout just past Harwich Mariners manager, Steve Englert.
You know, it's good to see as a pitcher. He keeps his composure. He likes to try and get guys to chase after things.
3-2, misses in the dirt for ball 4, so the streak ends at 6 consecutive strikeouts. Schobel reaches base. That's the second walk drawn by Bourne hitting. And with 1 away, that will bring up the leadoff hitter, Joe Lampe.
That's a good adjustment from Schobel because we've seen a lot of these strikeouts for these Bourne batters. They're reaching after pitches. You'll notice it's on a lot of check swings, on a lot of things, and they're reaching outside of the zone. But Schobel making the adjustment, he knows the off-speed's coming on that one. Really nice piece of hitting from Schobel.
First pitch to Lampe. Check swing, he did go around. Lampe drew the other walk for the Braves to lead off the ball game. Stole second, but was stranded there. Reggie Crawford struck out with 2 away to end the inning. 0-1. Flared into left center field, falling quickly, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. A good job by Cade Beloso to bluff that he was under the ball, let it drop in front of him, and that held Schobel at second base, didn't allow him to advance any further. So heads up play out in left field, but there are 2 on and 1 away for Christian Knapczyk.
Yeah, it's some good baseball IQ, but right as we reach the top of the order once again, Lampe perhaps saw something his first time around and taking advantage of it his second time through the lineup. We'll see how Mosiello fares in this second time through.
Knapczyk showing bunt, and the pitch misses low. Levins thought about snap throwing down on Schobel at second. Knapczyk flew out to center field in his first at-bat. Mosiello comes set, look over at second, the pitch. Lined out towards right field, that'll send Lucky back. It's over his head and 1 hops a wall. Schobel rounding third. He will try to score. The throw is late. He slides in safely, and the Bourne Braves take a 1-0 lead in the top of the third.
And there was some hesitation there. I mean, looking at the ball flying out to right and then looking back at the infield, we saw Schobel and Lampe just right next to each other on the base paths, as Schobel wasn't really sure if it was going to be caught, but Lampe was going full force. And a really nice hit getting over the head of Lucky. He has a pretty good range out there in right as well, so especially impressive able to get it past him.
RBI double for Christian Knapczyk. And now second and third with just 1 out. Pitch to Fedko. He swings and misses for strike 1.
And how about this turn of events for Andrew Mosiello? Strikes out 6 in a row, but now he's facing runners on second and third with only 1 out here in the third.
Walk, a single, and a double. And now he finds himself on the hook. The 0-1. Ball in the dirt. It gets away from Levens. He can't find it. Coming in to score is Lampy. Knapzik up to third. It is 2-0 Bourne.
Yeah, a tough pitch from Mosiello. Not a whole lot Levens could do about that one. Got down in the dirt well before it reached him. Of course, you try and hope your catcher can block it, but a tough situation to be put in there for Levens as another run comes across here for Bourne.
Infield playing in for Harwich, trying to limit the damage in this inning. Mosiello's 1-1. Lined into left field. That'll be a base hit. Knapzik will score easily from third base as Kyler Fedko with an RBI single to extend the Braves' lead 3-0.
And again, just the turn in events here for Mosiello. Struck out 6 straight. And now Bourne stringing together some hits after getting a walk to get on base with 1 out. The last 4 batters have made noise here for Bourne.
So Fedko at first base. The first pitch to Reggie Crawford is on the outside corner. And it's just another example of how opportunistic the Braves' offense is. All it took was that walk to Schobel, and then the floodgates open with 3 consecutive hits. Able to score on a wild pitch also as well. Changeup misses low. Crawford, the Frackville, Pennsylvania native. So him and Fedko, both Yukon Huskies, both from Pennsylvania. 1-1 is on the outside corner. Braves hitters appear to be adjusting to Mosiello the second time through the order. 1-2, broken bat, flare to second. Caught by Acton. The snap throw to first, just not in time. As back with a dive is Fedko. It'll be a line out to second for Crawford. He is retired for out number 2 in this third inning.
Yeah, I mean, Corey Acton knew exactly what the situation was there. He was aware that the runner in Fedko was going to be well off the bag, so charged right at it, made the throw over to first, but Fedko, quick reflexes, got back as soon as he saw Acton was going to make that catch.
Got some action now in the Mariners bullpen, a left-hander getting warm. First pitch breaking ball to Nick Goodwin is in for a strike. Danny Wilkinson, the arm getting loose for Harwich, the Villanova Wildcat. 0-1 to Goodwin. Another breaking ball. He is way out in front of it, and he falls behind 0-2. Goodwin from Kansas State. The pitch. Fastball misses up and away. A pretty aggressive secondary lead from Kyler Fedko. He took a couple of steps towards second and then stopped on a dime.
Yeah, thought about it. Didn't want to test Levens on it, though.
Now he goes. The 1-2 misses. The throw down is on the money. Tatum Levens hoses Kyler Fedko at second to end the third inning, but not before 3 runs come across for the Bourne Braves. They lead it 3-0 over Harwich through 2.5. Home half of the third coming up. You're watching Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Bottom of the third inning from White House Field, Colin Casey alongside Tim Foley. The Mariners find themselves behind 3-0. And that third inning, Tim, for Andrew Mosiello got off to a good start, but one walk really changed the complexion, and Bourne took advantage of it.
It seemed like he was going to settle right back in. As you said, got off to a good start, his 6th straight strikeout. But then the walk, and you said it back in that last half inning, Bourne, they take advantage when you give them an opportunity. They've shown it to other teams around the Cape, and Harwich getting a taste of it so far here today. Now Omlet's got to shut it down.
Hal Hughes swings and chops the first pitch foul outside of third. 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for Harwich. Omlet has retired each of the last 5 batters he's faced in 6 of the first 7 so far in this contest. The 0-1 misses just below the knees of Hughes. The 1-1. High pop-up left side of the infield. Goodwin backpedaling. Ball kind of trails on him a bit, but he makes the catch for out number 1. Hughes retired on a P5.
And now for Omlet, you think about what might be going through his head here. He's got a 3-run lead now. He's got some run support from his guys. I'm sure he was confident he'd get that before the game, but now he's got it, and that'll allow him to stay settled here as he has had plenty of success so far through the first 2.
Starts Ben Malgeri with a called strike. Malgeri trying to take advantage of this opportunity. The count now 1-1. He was the opening day center fielder against Orleans, but went hitless with a couple of strikeouts, so looking to bounce back in his second game with the Mariners. Omlet's 1-1. Driven to left field and deep. Way out of here. Solo home run, Ben Malgeri. Think that makes a big impression. It's now 3-1 Bourne.
It certainly does. I mean, the left fielder, Colby Thomas, all he did was take a few steps and look at it because that ball got out of here in a hurry, Colin. A nice hit there from Malgeri. Hitless in Orleans. He's got one here in his first at-bat in Harwich.
So Malgeri has the first home run of the season for the Harwich Mariners. And that ball he got every bit of. It cleared that 330-foot mark down the left field line by a ton. I think he hit it over the batting cage out in left field. That'll get your team back into it. First pitch to Nick Lucky is a called strike.
Yeah, that motivates your guys because now you see him get a hit. Now you want to hit like that.
Breaking ball misses low to Lucky. Talk about the impact the 9 hitters have had so far in this game. Schobel gets the rally started for Bourne. Malgeri looking to do the same thing with that solo bomb. Line drive, base hit into right field for Nick Lucky. So Lucky able to break that 1-for-12 start to the season, and he's on with a 1-out single.
I tell you, Colin, hitting is contagious. And you mentioned the 9 hitters and how they're having some success, and that's one of the things I like about the Cape League is that it's really just an all-star league. Each of these guys, top of their teams back in college. So you put a guy like Malgeri in the 9 spot, to him, it's not going to make that much of a difference. He's going to go and do what he does over at Northeastern.
Lucky takes his lead off first. Josh Hood, the batter, and he's ahead 1-0. Tables have turned. Now we got some throwing in the Braves bullpen. They also have a left-hander warming. I believe that's Michael Sansoni getting loose. Catcher isn't down in the crouch just yet, so maybe just a precaution as this inning gets a little interesting. Count now 2-0 to Hood, who singled in his first at-bat.
Yeah, Hood's had plenty of success, and I'm sure he's really excited at the opportunity he has here to keep this inning going for Harwich.
Omlin looking to bounce back the 2-0. Misses low, 3-0. Got to be careful here. He really could use an out with Brock Wilkin looming in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, you give up back-to-back hits, and now you're at the top of this Harwich order going into the heart of it. It's a tough situation here for Omlin.
3-0, Hood taking all the way. It's on the outside part of the plate for a strike.
That happened his last at-bat, too. Got into a 3-0 count. Had no intentions on swinging on the 3-0 pitch. He swung and fouled this one straight back last time. Let's see what it is this time.
3-1. Broken bat flare. That's going to fall in. And the throw on to first is in time. So a good job adjusting over at short by Knapzik. Didn't try to force it at second base, as it was a great read by Lucky, who went the second he knew it was falling. So he's into second safely, but Hood is retired at first for out number 2.
Yeah, really good read by Lucky. As you said, if he hesitates a bit, then that opens up the chance to get the leadoff runner, and maybe then Hood's safe at first, but then you have a guy on first with 2 outs instead of a guy on second. And it's a good situation here for Harwich because, yeah, you have 2 outs, but all you need is a base hit to drive a guy in. Well, you have exactly the guy you want up at the plate right now in Brock Wilkin.
Freshman out of Wake Forest, who was just outstanding from the get-go down in North Carolina. Broke the freshman home run record with 17 in the spring. Huge jump over at second by Lucky, but he heads back towards second as the first pitch misses low to Wilkin. Harwich Mariners teams over the years not afraid to be aggressive on the base paths, even with 2 outs.
Yeah, Harwich has the most steals in the league. I keep saying conference, in the league so far this season with 6, tied with Brewster.
Ball gets away from the catcher, Bender. So Lucky easily up to third base and can score that one. A wild pitch charged to Omlid. Really needs to bear down. Does have 2 outs, but a 2-0 count to Wilkin. And now another run just 90 feet away at third.
Yeah, don't get over anxious here. You know, if you allow the walk, that doesn't force the runner home from third. And it does bring up Beloso, of course, but you don't want to throw anything else away here.
Wilkin taking a called strike at the knees. Solid crowd on hand for this Friday night affair. Bleachers almost filled to capacity on both sides. Of course, a good crowd on the hills. 2-1 is fouled straight back off of Bender, and it's good to see him react quickly on that, as he already took one in a bad spot earlier, but that one didn't seem to faze him.
Yeah, I mean, as a catcher, you have to have that bulldog mentality. You know you're going to get hit. You know you're going to get stung a couple times, and that's exactly what it was. You know, he wouldn't be back out here if it were anything truly harmful.
2-2 breaking ball swung on and missed. Wilkin fooled, and the inning is over. But Ben Malgieri with a solo home run to bring the Mariners within 2 through 3 innings from White House Field. Bourne 3, Harwich 1. You're watching Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Bourne leads Harwich 3-1 here at White House Field. I will turn it over to my broadcast partner, Tim Foley, for the play-by-play duties. Tim?
Thanks, Colin. As we open things up here in the fourth inning now, a new slinger on the mound for the Mariners. It's going to be Danny Wilkinson out of Villanova, the lefty. Let's recap the day real quick, though, for Mosiello before we get into Wilkinson and what we can expect from him. Mosiello gave up a walk on the afternoon, but then he proceeded to retire the next 7 batters, 6 of which with the strikeout. And then it was the third inning, though, that was ultimately his undoing. Struck out the first batter, but then walked the next one and gave up 3 straight hits thereafter. And that's largely why the Braves now, with 3 runs on the board, they are a hitting team. They will take advantage of any opportunity you give them. So even with a dominant start to the game that Mosiello had, the Braves knew what they could do at the plate, and they came back second time through the lineup, and they showed why they are leading the league in all offensive categories to open things up. We'll look at Wilkinson in a moment. Leading it off in the top of the fourth inning for the Braves, Nick Goodwin, the third baseman, struck out. He was the third strikeout victim of Mosiello. Wilkinson, as he quickly is ahead in the count, 0-2. Wilkinson at Villanova. As the 0-2 pitch comes in, that's fouled off. Going to head into foul territory over the fence, unplayable. At Villanova this past season, 3.2 ERA, came in and made 7 saves for Villanova on the season across a total of 17 appearances. And so he knows what it's like to come in a tight situation. Of course, his team down here needing him to be dominant against this Bourne squad. Ahead in the count, 1-2, and he gets Goodwin to strike out for the second time this evening.
A good start there for Goodwin. He's got a fastball, a curveball, and a changeup. Saw him try to get Goodwin to chase that breaking ball earlier on in the at-bat. I think that's one of his favorites to throw. A scouting report on him, he's got a nasty 12-6 curve, and it really does dive as it comes to the plate.
As he tries to blow by Colby Thomas with the fastball up high, it was quite high in the zone, as stretching for it was the catcher for Harwich, Levens. This second pitch fouled up and out of play. Count now moves to 1-1.
He tried going with the changeup that time. His fastball been touching about 92 early on, and the changeup there at 81, so solid 10 to 11 mile an hour difference.
Next pitch in for a fastball, going back to the fastball, 1-2 the count.
He's got a real interesting delivery as well. Tough to pick up if you're a batter.
It is an interesting delivery. As the count now 2-2, he really whips the shoulders around as he delivers the pitch. As this ball fouled off, count stays at 2-2. Wilkinson, 6'1", sophomore out of Villanova, about 190 pounds. And sometimes you'll see that whipping the shoulders around, get that extra velocity in there. As this pitch, 92, is skied up. Underneath it, the first baseman in Jenkins, he'll make the catch. And there are 2 down now in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, I like the confidence we've seen from Wilkinson with all 3 of his pitches. We've seen a fair share of fastballs. He's loved to go to that curveball for the knockout pitch, but he's also been relying on the changeup as well, trying to keep these Braves hitters off balance. And so far, so good, albeit it's only been 2 batters.
Here's the first pitch to the new batter, Josh Moylan, the first baseman. He struck out to end the second inning his last time up. And the changeup gets inside the zone. A nice pitch from Wilkinson there. Wilkinson, the 0-2, tries to go fastball outside, misses well low and away. Levens reaching out for that one. Count now 1-2. The new pitch, foul down the third base line. Fair just snuck past that third base bag. And safe on first base is going to be Moylan.
Yeah, he was really late on that pitch, just trying to put the bat on the ball with 2 strikes, and good things will happen. He snuck it past Hood over at third. Spin on it, kept it fair. Not a whole lot of speed, though, from Moylan, so he wasn't able to stretch it into 2 bases, but maybe a little bit of a rally. The bottom of the order did start the rally in that last inning with Schobel, but Colton Bender will be the one getting the opportunity first.
The catcher, Bender, as you say, now in the batter's box. He's got 2 outs against him with a runner on first. The first pitch to him is a ball, 80 miles per hour. A nice pitch there, blowing it by him, 90. Wilkinson, he likes to really change it up. 80 on the first pitch, 90 on the second one. Doesn't want these born batters to get too comfortable at the plate. 1-1 pitch. Off speed, right in the zone, 72. How's that for a speed differential? 90 to 72. Try to adjust to that.
And, Tim, the Mariners are going to need some really good bullpen pitching once again if they want to get back in this game.
This one in the dirt. Try to get him to chase after it. Bender being a catcher himself with the good eye at the plate, holding off. Count now 2-2 with 2 outs. Runner on first. Bourne looking for some more runs in the second straight inning, perhaps. Change up, got him looking, froze him at the plate. Down goes Bender on strikeouts for the second time in this game. We move now to the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Beloso, Levens, and Jenkins due up for the Mariners. You are watching the Harwich Mariners on the Mariners YouTube network. Back at White House Field here on this overcast Friday evening, the first Red Shirt Friday regarding military appreciation for the Mariners this summer. New pitcher on the mound for the Braves as Beloso takes him to a ride out towards left. Underneath it is Thomas, his counterpart in left. He'll make the catch. And there's quickly one away here in the bottom of the fourth inning. New pitcher on the mound for Bourne. It is out of Fairfield, Michael Sansone, the lefty out of Cheshire, Connecticut.
Fairfield actually qualified for the NCAA tournament this year. First time they did so since 2016, the school out of Connecticut. The Stags.
The 0-0 count misses. It's 1-0. So the day for Hunter Omlid, the starting pitcher for the Braves this evening out of Central Arizona. Pitched 3 complete innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 run on that home run from Ben Malgeri. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 3. Not a bad outing from Omlid. Of course, Malgeri turned that baseball into mashed potatoes, but other than that, he looked pretty good out there on the mound.
And now it'll be up to Sansone to keep that lead at 2, but he falls behind 3-0 here.
And the 3-0 pitch is in for a strike. Levens takes it there. He'll now take the bat off his shoulder. 3-1. Ball skied again, drifting towards left, except it's the third baseman, Nick Goodwin, searching for it. He finds it. 2 pop-outs to start the inning here for the Mariners.
And Sansone, no stranger to big moments in any game, as he was actually the winning pitcher for when Fairfield in the NCAA tournament knocked off Arizona State by a score of 9-7 in an elimination game.
First pitch to the new batter, 77, is well ahead of it for the Mariners, Andrew Jenkins. Jenkins behind 0-1, takes a hack at this one, and now falls behind 0-2.
Yeah, if Harwich wants to get back in this game, can't be doing what they've done the first couple of games and wait till 2 outs to really get some guys on base. But 2-out rally never hurt anyone.
And a big hit here coming from Jenkins, going back towards center. Lampy underneath it to make the catch, and that's the inning. 3 quick outs recorded by Bourne as the Mariners fly out in order. We move now to the top of the 5th inning. Braves coming back up to bat. You are watching the Harwich Mariners. This is the Mariners YouTube Network. Back with you here at White House Field. Mariners fans, for sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com. your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. As the first pitch dealt to Tanner Schobel, misses for a ball, and he walked back in the third inning after Bender had struck out. And that started that run of offense for the Braves, as it was 3 straight hits thereafter to help drive in 3 runs. A quick pace from Wilkinson here, as already a 2-1 count. Ball fouled back at 90 miles per hour. Count now 2-2.
I know we keep talking about it, but that walk really was a significant turning point in this game thus far. Schobel gets on base, and Braves realize, hey, we can put runners on against this guy.
Ball hit towards the shortstop in Hughes. Throw on to first. Reaching out is Jenkins to record the out, and there is 1 down now in the top of the 5th inning.
It's great to see Hal Hughes getting back into a rhythm at shortstop. He had a couple of errors early on in the year, which we weren't used to seeing out of him. Of course, he was a returnee, as he's now got 4 so far in the season, but even with all those errors, he has made some really smooth plays over at short.
Joe Lampe takes a first pitch strike at 73 miles per hour. Lampe coming all the way around in the 3rd inning. Count now 1-1. Wilkinson stepping in, swung on, chased after it at 73 miles per hour as Wilkinson, a really nice pitch to try and get Lampe to reach for it. The 1-2 count now. Wilkinson fouled straight back. Had the timing on it that time at 92 miles per hour on the fastball, but just getting underneath it, sending it well over our heads here in the press box. 1-2. Fouled again. 3rd straight foul from Lampe.
I got Liam Simon warming in the pen for Harwich, the right-hander.
He's got some hard stuff. Perhaps we'll get to see him.
So far, so good from Wilkinson. I mean, been in pretty good rhythm since coming to the game, minus the lone single he gave up.
Ball popped up. Levin's sprinting back for it. He's done that a couple times so far today, but nothing has stayed within his range, as I think I can hear the swarm of children chasing after that one into the forest just beyond the first base bleachers here at White House Field. They are ferocious when going for those foul balls, I tell you. 1-2 pitch on the outside. 2-2.
Lampe, the only Brave so far to reach base in each of his first 2 plate appearances.
And again, good timing on the swing, but fouling this one straight back.
Of course, he came around to score on that wild pitch in the 3rd inning before Knapsick ripped a double to further extend the Bourne lead.
Ball hit just past the diving Jenkins. It gets into the outfield, and it's a one out single for Joe Lampe.
Yeah, that ball was stung. Jenkins with a good effort coming off that first base bag, but just out of the reach of him, and a big 1-out single with this dangerous Bourne lineup. As you get into the 2, 3, 4, 5 hitters, there's no easy outs in this lineup.
No, as they have proven numerous times throughout this early season, as we've mentioned. Bourne, of course, coming into today's game, leading the league in numerous offensive categories, runs, hits, as well as the 3 big stats on the slash line: batting average, on base percentage, and slugging. So they know how to swing the bat. 0-1 count at the plate. Knapsick. Pickoff attempt over at first instead of throwing it over to home. Count stays at 0-1. Knapsick doubling in his last at-bat drove in a run, ended up coming around to score himself. Ball in the dirt. 1-1 the count now.
Of course, the Braves looking to improve to 4-0 on this young season.
Of course, something we haven't even mentioned yet. Of course, Bourne, they are undefeated. Ball takes a bounce on the outside part of the plate. Wilkinson, he's been trying to get guys to reach on that outer part these past few batters. He's now behind 2-1. And again, that pitch towards the outside part of the plate just misses once more at 91 miles per hour. 3-1 the count.
Yeah, can't afford to put another guy on base and then have the heart of the order come up with some great RBI chances. Guys like Fedko and Crawford, they know how to come up in big moments.
This one's hit on a line, and that's going to be fair. Just dances on that third base line in the outfield. That will advance the runners to second and third, a one-out double, and here come the Braves.
Yeah, I think that ball must have just clipped the line out in left field. From my angle, I thought it might have been foul at first, but the umpire over there at third, Mark Delaney, had a good look at it, ruled it fair, and Coach Englert's actually come out and talk and say, I think it was actually the home plate umpire, Joe Caraco, who made that ruling, but Englert not too pleased. And might have an argument here. It's tough to tell from our angle whether or not that ball stayed fair, but see if the Braves can capitalize with two in scoring position.
Always tough, those down-the-line plays, those calls umpires have to make, especially if I did see as the first pitch into Fedko here. The three-batter is a ball. I did see the home plate umpire, Caraco, rather adamant, standing at home, that that ball had been fair. So, of course, the foul line itself is fair territory. Should it connect with that, it is a fair ball. So, obviously, Caraco being right down the line, must have seen it go fair. Count now 2-0.
Now it's gut check time for the Mariners defense. Need to get out of this inning and stay in striking distance.
Nice pitch delivered from Wilkinson. Can't fall behind. 3-0. Sends one 92 miles per hour just over the outside of the plate. Wilkinson's pitch. Change up. Hits the zone. Count now 2-2. 73. He has really liked to change it up. I mean, that is drastic. A 20 mile per hour difference. That is tough to adjust to if you're a batter. Two. Swung on and missed. Got him for out number 2. A really nice piece of pitching there from Wilkinson to sit down Kyler Fedko.
Yeah, that breaking ball at 12-6, we saw it back-to-back pitches. Great job of keeping him off balance. Fedko thought he would get a fastball. It never came. And a big out number 2. That allows the infield to focus on getting the sure out at first with a dangerous bat and Reggie Crawford at the dish.
That's the third strikeout for Wilkinson on the mound. That's the 9th strikeout through 4 2/3 innings so far for Harwich. And now steps in Reggie Crawford, the lefty in the DH spot today. He's been rather unsuccessful, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to second. You have to imagine he's going to be really itching for something here. Runners in scoring position. He has not found too much success today, looking to help his team expand their lead and come through in a big spot here. Wilkinson steps, delivers. Ball hit right to Jenkins. He'll make the pick. Trots over to first. And the Mariners get out of the jam. Looked scary for a moment there. Runners on second and third with only one out. But a nice piece of pitching from Wilkinson and then some heads-up defense from Jenkins over at first gets them out of it. No runs scored by the Braves in the inning. We move now to the bottom of the 5th, where the Mariners are going to look to capitalize on that strong defensive inning. and bring this game back towards their favor. 3-1 Braves as we move to the bottom of the fifth. You are watching the Harwich Mariners on the Mariners YouTube network. Clouds looming overhead here at White House Field. No rain in the forecast. However, it will just remain cloudy likely for the rest of the evening. As we stand now in the bottom of the fifth inning, it'll be the 7, 8, 9 batters due up for the Mariners. Corey Acton fouling that one back up over the press box here. Hal Hughes will come up as well. We'll also see Ben Malgeri after he hit that home run back in the third inning. Still on the mound for Bourne, Michael Sansone. A nice pitch to get Acton to whiff on that one. 0-2.
And with Malgeri hitting that home run, Mariners realizing, hey, we got some pop in these 7, 8, and 9 hitters. See if they can make a difference once again in this fifth inning.
0-2 the count. Sansone up high at 85. 1-2 the count.
Of course, Corey Acton's still looking to get going as well, as he's 0 for 6 to start the season, but he does have 2 runs batted in. And has also drawn 4 walks.
And that's something that, as the count now stands at 2-2, has been excellent for this Harwich Mariners squad, at least through the first 3 games. We haven't seen it so much today, but they have done an excellent job all year drawing the walk and getting hit by pitches, if you can call that a skill, so to speak. Third in the league in walks at 15, and then tied for the second most beans in the league at 5. So they're getting on base, and except here today, have not been walked and have not been hit by anything quite yet. That one just inside.
Careful what you wish for, Tim.
As might have grazed the elbow. Acton having a conversation with home plate umpire Joe Caraco. They'll say it did not nick him. Acton trying to plead his case. The count will run full. Mariners looking for their first walk of the day. Acton facing a 3-2 count. Hit on the ground. Little dribbler over towards third. Picked up, thrown. A nice reach from the first baseman, Moylan. Stretches out, makes that catch in a tight frame. 1 out here in the fifth.
A tough little play with that ball just kind of dying in the grass, but even the double clutch, still enough time to get Acton over on the throw. Real close play, but nice play over the left side of the diamond there by Goodwin.
Yeah, and it was a little tough to tell at first, too, who was going to go after it. Was it going to be Goodwin or Knapzik? But ultimately, Goodwin taking it upon himself to charge in more in that shortstop lane. As 1 out here to Hal Hughes. He'll take the first pitch in at 86 miles per hour for a strike.
It was really high IQ play by Goodwin to recognize he had enough time to glove it. He didn't have to force himself into a barehanded play.
Hughes chases after that one. As it slows down to 77, he flew out to third in foul territory for his last out. A swing and a miss down on 3 strikes is Hughes, 0 for 2 on the day. as Ben Malgieri, the third batter up in this inning, comes up with 2 outs already charged against Harwich.
Yeah, Michael Sansone is looking like a really valuable left-handed specialist for the Bourne Braves through the first 5 batters he's faced. Finally gets his first strikeout, but he has been fearless attacking these Mariners hitters.
5 straight retired by Sansone. That's 7 straight retired by Bourne, dating back to the 3rd inning. 1-0 the count here. To the batter, Malgieri. Of course, had that home run last time up. Crushed it into the turtle out in left. Gets underneath one here. Pacing over to make the catch. Moylan has to double back. He can't make the catch, though. It just tailed in on him as he was heading towards the Bourne dugout. Ended up landing closer towards that first base line. And still alive in this at-bat is Malgieri.
That ball just kind of changed directions as it was up in the air, and Moylan cut back to his right, just couldn't quite snow cone it. Second opportunity for Malgieri. We know he's capable of taking advantage of those.
Next pitch he sees, it's a one-hopper over to short, throw on to first. Skips, but picked out by Moylan. Some nice defensive plays by Moylan despite not being able to make the out-of-bounds catch. And so down they go, 1-2-3. In the bottom of the 5th, we move now to the top of the 6th inning. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters, Goodwin, Thomas, and Moylan for the Braves. You are watching the Harwich Mariners on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Bringing it back to White House Field, a new pitcher on the mound for the Mariners. The day is done for Danny Wilkinson. His stat line looked like this. 2 complete innings pitched, gave up 3 hits, no runs, no walks. Struck out 3, not a bad outing from Wilkinson through 2. We now take a look at the new pitcher, Liam Simon out of Notre Dame. Nick Goodwin's up to bat for the Braves. Simon this season for the Fighting Irish appeared in 18 games with a 3.20 ERA. Had 1 save, gave up 19 hits, walked 24, struck out 33. And as we talked to Coach Grunberg before the game, he throws some hard stuff, as we saw some of his warm-ups right around 92. We'll see if that is the fullest extent. Of course, that's just his warm-up, unleashing it at 92 here on the mound. That one, 94, as I ask for something a little hotter, he gives it. 94 on the radar for Simon. And it's a walk, however. Could not control it. Who ends up walking him on the 3-1 count. And this will bring up Colby Thomas.
Yeah, it has been a little bit of an issue for Simon. Struck out 33 batters, but also walked 24, so control something he wants to improve upon. That's almost a walk per inning.
Did pitch 25 innings, and as we did say, 24 walks, so certainly not the ratio you're looking for. He'll have a chance now with Colby Thomas stepping in. Thomas 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to the first baseman. Pitch down low. Count jumps out to 1-0.
This is the first time that the Braves have had a leadoff man on since the first inning, so see if they can get some of that magic they've seen over the first 3 games at the plate and extend their 3-1 lead.
And the count now 1-1.
The Braves do win this game. That would be matching their best start since 2016, where they also started the season at 4-0.
1-1 pitch. And that misses. Count now 2-1. And it can be tough to open up undefeated. Of course, it's always tough to win a game, let alone string together a streak at the beginning of a season. But you think about the context in which this is being done. You have guys flying in from around the country, just meeting each other, just getting used to their surroundings. And they're coming together pretty quickly as 93 on the inside part of the plate is good for a called strike. They're coming together pretty quickly and playing some pretty nice baseball here in late June, mid to late June.
You wonder if this could be their year. Remember, they only have 2 league championships. Their most recent one coming in 2009.
This ball clocked out towards right field. That's going to get down just past Lucky. That's going to allow the runner to advance to third, and Goodwin going to second now. Safe is Thomas. Well hit ball. Lucky. He was a bit too far up, a bit too over to the right, and as he tried to trail back to catch up to that grounder, it just got by him. Good awareness from Goodwin, traversing the base paths, and now no outs, 2 on in scoring position here for the Braves.
And not the start that Simon's looking for, giving up the leadoff walk, and then that ball split in the gap out in right center field. Lucky was able to get a glove on it, but couldn't get it cleanly, and then his throw in didn't really hit his cutoff man, didn't go to second either. Now danger lurking with the Braves trying to cash in this great opportunity with nobody out.
And Josh Moylan looking to repeat the effort he had in his last at-bat. It was that little flick shot down the third base line that just landed fair with 2 outs back in the 4th. That pitch catching the inside part of the plate, 1-1.
Once again, action in the Mariners bullpen just recently getting up and getting loose. It is Owen Cody.
Owen Cody, the Penn product. 1-1 pitch. 88 got him to reach outside for it. Count now 1-2. As the grill up and running here at White House Field, plenty of smoke coming from there has been making its way onto the field all throughout this game as down swinging goes Moylan. First strikeout delivered by the pitcher Simon.
You wonder if the Mariners bullpen might have 9 lives the way this game has gone so far. They've had themselves in situations where they were about to let the lead get out of control, but their pitchers have, to their credit, battled back, and Simon battles back there against Moylan, but danger certainly not over yet. Infield comes in with Bender coming to the plate 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
0-0 to count. As you mentioned, Bender now coming up with 2 strikeouts. He's ahead in the count, 1-0.
First base is open, so a walk wouldn't kill you, but be so important to get that second out with the 9-hitter waiting in the on-deck circle.
Ball fouled straight back, moves now to 1-1. It would be especially impressive if Harwich could get out of this, as you said. Similar situation last inning with runners in scoring position with one out. 1-1 the count. Ball cracked on the ground. Charging after it is the third baseman, Hood. And some patience from the infield. Scooping it up ultimately was Hal Hughes. As Colin, I'll let you make your point here.
I think they just called that a fair ball.
Yeah, it was dribbling down that third base line. Good patience from Hood. He was hounding that thing all the way down the line, waiting for it to drift, but it does not look like that call is in the favor of the Mariners, as head coach Steve Englert out on the field now, talking to third base umpire Mark Delaney, trying to plead his case. I mean, Hughes was the one who ultimately came over and scooped it up.
Englert can't believe it. I mean, that's the second time there's been a ball. Not sure if it was fair or foul. The second time it's gone against the Mariners, so got to understand his frustration. Again, hard to tell from here, but in my opinion, Hood wouldn't have picked it up if he really didn't think that ball was foul.
Was it Hood that picked it up?
I believe it was over at third.
It was down over by third, but I believe it was. It was Hughes as we get a call over from the other side of the press box here. Nonetheless, a tough situation for the Mariners. Looks like that call is going to stand. Runners now on the corners. Nick Goodwin comes across to score. It is a 4-1 game. So Colby Thomas stands on third, and Colton Bender, the dribbler for an RBI, standing over on first.
Simon stayed in the game, though, so just a discussion. I think the calmest pitcher down. I mean, high leverage situation, still not the end of the world with a double play a possibility. See if he can fight his way out of it and keep it a 2-run game.
As first pitch to Schobel. So Bourne now up 4-1. Thanks to an infield single from Colton Bender. Second time, as you noted, Colin, down that third base line. The Mariners have had some bad luck in regards to foul ball calls.
Or lack thereof.
A big swing and a miss. Nice pitch from Simon to get Schobel chasing after it up high.
And look out in center field.
Oh, the barrier on the center field fence, or the bumper, I should say, falling into center field, halting play for a moment. Some fans in the outfield signing up as temporary groundskeepers to try and keep play moving here. We'll have to keep an eye on that one as the game moves along. 0-2 count. Ball cracked squarely to short. Throw on to second. Over to first for the double play. Got him. 2 outs to end the inning and prevent the runner in Thomas from coming home to score. The Braves do get a run across, however, so it is now a 3-run game once again. 4-1, the Braves out in front of the Mariners. We'll be back with 7th inning action here from White House Field. You are watching the Harwich Mariners on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Back in a flash. you'll have to forgive me at home. I jumped the gun. We are still in the 6th inning as the Mariners come up to bat. Nick Lucky now, for the 3rd time through the order for the Mariners, got on base with a single in his last at-bat. We'll also see Josh Hood and Brock Wilkin in this half inning. First pitch seen, fouled straight back directly over my head on the left side of the press box here at White House Field. Oh, 1 pitch in there. Lucky stares at it. 85 over the heart of the plate. 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Lucky thought about it. Bounced in the dirt well beforehand, however. Count now jumps to 1-2.
Lucky, initially out of high school, was a shortstop, ranked the 8th best shortstop out of Pennsylvania. And here he is, though, out in right field for the Mariners. Played some pretty stellar defense out there for the most part through the first 3+ games.
As that one brushes him off the plate, 2-2. And yeah, I know we mentioned it a bit earlier, but just to rehash the point, you'll get guys who, they're constantly in flux in regards to what their makeup is as an infielder, and oftentimes it can really serve you well. As the 2-2 pitch in here, down low, misses. Count will run full after he fell behind 0-2. As it can help your perspective in the outfield to understand what it takes to be able to play an infield position. You know how a guy has to approach a bag in case you got to hit him out the cutoff, or you're trying to hose a guy on an outfield assist. And so certainly I think helps make him a more complete fielder, as this one roped foul well over the fence on the first base side, I should say. Still 3-2.
You can't forget about the power that Lucky does have. He ended his regular season at Coastal Carolina on a 6-game hit streak where he hit 4 home runs during that span.
And a little choke swing hits over to third, and he's thrown out. Wasn't so sure about whether or not he wanted to hit it, and by the time it crossed home plate, he didn't have much of a choice. Ended up running down to first, but easily gunned down by Goodwin.
Yeah, just couldn't commit to that payoff pitch. Hit it down the line. Had he hit a little softer, it would have been perfect, but it seems like the Mariners keep running into really good defensive third baseman, as Nick Goodwin, all over that one, makes a perfect throw onto first.
9th straight Mariner retired, as a big cut from Hood. Hood in his last at-bat in the 3rd, grounded out to short. He does have a single in this game, so 1 for 2.
As you mentioned, 9 straight retired. Great job by this Braves pitching staff.
Ball chopped on the ground, and I know we've harped on it a bit already, but people knew coming into this game that Bourne was a team that liked to hit. They really are also a team that likes to pitch. I mean, they are a complete squad out of the gate in 2021. 0-2 count to Hood. He'll say, hold on a minute, and he'll take a step back. Hood, as he arrived to the Cape League, he did play 11 games in the Coastal Plains League. Actually left leading that league in home runs at 4 through 11 games. Trying to get back on the count here, 1-2.
A game out in Fred Wilson Field in Yarmouth has mercifully gone final to it with a 16-5 win over the Red Sox.
Ball fouled straight back, 1-2, and that is a Katua team which, I mean, coming into today, their record was sitting at 1-2, but really don't let that fool you. You're looking at all the hitting stats, and I may have mentioned this a bit earlier, but this is a Katua team that can hit. And so expect to see some crooked numbers from them this year, as they are on their title defense from 2019. Fouled straight back, umpire Joe Caraco takes the brunt of that. His catcher in front of him in Bender is going to take a moment, step away from the plate, go and pick up the ball, have a conversation with his pitcher, and that's the camaraderie I can always appreciate seeing between a catcher and an umpire.
Yeah, looking at the box score for that Katuitt game, Luke Gold, the man of the hour. that grand slam early in that game. He finished 3 for 5 with 4 runs scored and 6 RBIs.
Not bad. As the 1-2 count now, still 1 out. Been a couple of fouls from Hood. He'll take a pitch low and outside now. 2-2.
In fact, Luke Gold actually had 2 home runs in that game. So he followed up his grand slam with another helping. 4 total home runs hit in that game by Kettleer hitters.
That ball well inside. Hood has to back off a bit. 3-2. And hitting's contagious. I said it a bit earlier as well, as I go back to some of the other things we've mentioned a bit in the broadcast. But you see a guy go up and he starts to hit the ball well. The guy after him hits it well, and that runs through a team. I mean, I believe that baseball, one of the more individual sports, at least from an offense perspective, you're not entirely relying on a team effort. As down goes Hood swinging for the second out, but it is a team effort on the offensive side of things, and that you got to keep that morale running through your lineup. You got to have the top guys running to instill that confidence in the rest of your lineup, because if the 7, 8, 9 batters see that the heart of the order is 0 for 6 on the day, then that's not going to give them a lot of confidence that they can go and disrupt what's going on the mound. New batter here for the Mariners, Brock Wilkin. He'll take the first pitch he sees. Chops over to third, throw on to first, misses the glove of Moylan. Moylan reaching over, an error delivered by Nick Goodwin. It will be charged to him. And some life here for the Mariners. They get a man on with 2 outs.
Yeah, Goodwin had looked really sharp up until that point at third base. Had to come in charging to make that play and throw on the run. And throw just a little bit too wild for Moylan to handle. Good job by Wilkin to hustle it down the line, and that'll help the on-base percentage. He'll now be 0 for 3, but at this point, the Mariners just need base runners any way they can get them.
And just who you want up if you're Harwich, Cade Beloso. He is 0 for 2 on the day, but he came into this evening's contest leading the league in batting average. He's ahead in the count, 1-0.
Another game going final in Brewster. The Whitecaps, 5-2 home victory over the Chatham A's.
83 right over the plate, 1-1. A nice pitch from the pitcher Sansone as he continues his impressive outing so far. 1-1 count. That misses 2-1. Wilkin getting on base, of course, does break that retired batter streak that the Braves had going on. Dating back to the 3rd inning, it was a total of 10 straight batters. Streak snaps there. Ball hit on the ground, over to first, eats up Moylan, picking up the second baseman, and he's able to make the throw over to first, not able to connect, but as they're able to find Brock Wilkin trying to sneak his way over to third, looks like the initial throw trying to gun down Beloso at first was unsuccessful. He got on base, but then some heads-up defense by the second baseman, Tanner Schobel, as he saw Wilkin running over to third. Nick Goodwin making the catch, applying the tag, and getting the Braves out of the inning. So almost a few mishaps for the Braves, keeping the inning going for the Mariners. They do recover in the end. No runs come across for Harwich. Now we move to the 7th inning. Still a 4-1 game here from White House Field. The Braves ahead of the Mariners. You are watching the Harwich Mariners on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. back with you now in the 7th inning, and for the play-by-play for the rest of the game, here we have Colin Casey. Take it away, Colin.
All right, thank you, Tim. We head to the 7th inning. Liam Simon back out there for Harwich. The first pitch he delivers to Joe Lampy is popped up to the right side and caught by first baseman Andrew Jenkins. So 1 pitch, 1 out to begin the 7th.
I mean, that's what you need if you're Simon, just some efficiency. Some struggles in that last inning with the walk, the double, and the single. Of course, got out of it with the double play, but nice, quick, efficient out to open it up.
Showing bunt is Knapsick. That's probably the 3rd time he's shown bunt in an at-bat in this game, but he fouls it back. And hasn't really needed a bunt in this one. He has been impressive at the plate, 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles, including an RBI double in the 3rd inning in which he came around to score. 0-1 misses up and away. Another arm warming in the pen for Harwich. And this time it's still Cody, who's been up for a little over an inning now. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Knapsick can't catch up to the 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, give Simon a chance to settle in here. His first outing on the Cape.
1-2 misses down and in. Try to get him to chase after a breaking pitch. Knapsick, the Plainville, Illinois native. And he swings and spoils another pitch. That one clocking it at 94.
And he does throw it hard. As you just noted, 94. It's just about throwing it right where he wants it.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Knapsick goes down on strikes, and Simon able to pick up his 2nd strikeout of his outing. There is now there are now 2 away in the 2nd.
Yeah, right where he wanted that one. It's a nice location, and then, of course, with speed like that, really just good combination to retire the batter.
So Kyler Fedko looks to keep the inning alive. He watches ball 1. Fedko struck out swinging in the 1st, singled and drove in a run in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 5th. Fastball evens the count. The 1-1 dips just below the knees. Braves picked up 3 runs in inning number 3. Mariners responded with their lone run in the bottom half of that inning. Foul ball. Solo shot from Ben Malgieri, the first of the season for the Harwich Mariners. Cut the lead down to 2, but an insurance run in the top of the 6th inning on a swinging bunt has borne back up by 3 runs. 2-2, check swing, and Fedko goes around. That is the hat trick for him, his 3rd strikeout of the night. And the top half of the inning is over. We head to the 7th inning stretch. Bourne 4, Harwich 1. You're watching Harwich Mariners baseball on the Mariners YouTube network. Home half of inning number 7 from Harwich, Massachusetts, White House Field. Colin Casey alongside Tim Foley on this comfortable Friday night of baseball. Mariners looking to mount another rally as they trail 4-1 to the Bourne Braves. It will be 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up. Levins, Jenkins, and Acton. All three of them looking to get going as they are all three 0 for 2 so far in this game. Levins digs in. He struck out swinging in the second, popped out to third in the 5th inning, or the 4th, I should say. And he will have to face a very strong Michael Sansone. The Fairfield Stag has been outstanding through 3 innings of work. And he starts Levins up with a high fastball that's fouled straight back.
Yeah, Mariners going to look for some more 7th inning magic this time around. It was the 7th inning the other night on Wednesday where they strung together 4 runs to put him over the top, and this pretty much is the second time around for Sansone. So we'll see how these Mariner batters adjust.
Starting to see a little bit of commotion in the Bourne bullpen, so you wonder if Sansone might be nearing the end of his line, but he's put himself in line for the victory. Start working on his 4th inning now. Starter Hunter Omlid was pretty effective through 3 innings of work, giving up just 1 run on 3 hits while striking out 3. As there's a high fly ball hit by Levins out into shallow right. Will it fall? Yes, it will. And the leadoff man is on as Schobel and Fedko both running after it. Fedko coming in, Schobel heading out, and it fell into no man's land. So that'll be a leadoff single for Tatum Levins.
A couple of funky hits in this game for both sides. I mean, really, I think it's still just speaks well to the pitching that these guys are able to make it tough for these batters on either side to get good, clean contact on the ball. I mean, it gets down, but in a really weird part of the ballpark.
Andrew Jenkins to the dish. Popped out to first, flew out to center. Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. Sansone working from the stretch. Hasn't had to do that too often. And he misses up and away. Control starting to dwindle a little bit.
Yeah, 83 high and outside on a 1-0 count. Not sure that's quite where he wanted that one.
Sansone, a freshman in 2019 for Fairfield. Pitch fouled off. He was All-MAC rookie team. Led All-MAC rookies with 5 wins, 83 1/3 innings pitched, and 63 strikeouts. And he was second in rookies with a 4.00 ERA. So he certainly built off an impressive freshman year. Of course, no season due to COVID, and came back even stronger in 2021 as Jenkins spoils a pitch foul off to the right.
It's tough as a pitcher to be able to practice your stuff. I mean, at least during a season, it's difficult to really make adjustments because you have to, preserve your arm for the games where you're supposed to be pitching. So it's really mid-game stuff.
2-2 fouled straight up off the catcher. Bender, who's had quite the tough night behind the dish, got his bell rung by a foul tip back in the 2nd inning, coming off the bat of his counterpart Levins, and he's been hit twice since then, but he's hung in there tough. Also as an RBI single in this one. As Jenkins continuing to fight, fouls another one straight back.
Yeah, he has been really tough, really resilient. I mean, he only missed that the rest of that inning because I believe he then came up to bat immediately thereafter. And he has looked good behind the plate. I mean, we haven't seen too many steal attempts from the Mariners. I believe there was one earlier in the game that may have been stolen.
2-2 in there for called strike 3 on the inside corner. Jenkins shakes his head and walks back to the dugout. 1 down in the bottom of the 7th.
Correction, there has not been any stolen bases, but even still, behind the plate, he's looked good. I mean, he's kept a lot in front of him. He's had a lot of balls that he's had to get over and keep track of, especially now here as Sansone gets later into his outing and a few pitches get away a bit more than they would have earlier in his outing.
Chopper foul by Corey Acton, who is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. Mentioned earlier the Bourne Braves with 2 championships in their existence, but only one as the Bourne Braves. When they were formed in 1988 as an expansion with the Brewster Whitecaps. The league, of course, has been 10 teams since 1988. Fastball comes up and in on Acton.
And something like that's just, it's almost impossible to believe, because every year with a new batch of guys, you figure one of those years, or more often anyway.
Broken bat flare to second, fielded cleanly and caught by Tanner Schobel. And he just flips it over to his pitcher for out number 2, Levins, back into first base safely. So the leadoff runner in danger of being stranded after back-to-back outs. Hal Hughes looking to keep the inning alive for Harwich.
Good read by Levins. I mean, right off the bat, it looked like on first glance that ball could have had some power to it, but you hear the broken bat, it dies down, and the catch is made by Schobel. And good speed from Levins. Good read on it as well to dive back to the bag.
Ball in the dirt, delayed run by Levins. The throw in plenty of time, and he is out. A rocket of a throw by Bender. Kind of a stumble by Levins as he went to break for second, and he is gunned down to end the 7th inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, none left on. Head to the 8th inning. Bourne 4, Harwich 1. You're watching Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. To the 8th inning we go from White House Field. Harwich Mariners trail the Bourne Braves by a score of 4-1. We thank everyone for tuning into this broadcast, which, to my knowledge, has not had any issues for the first time all season, which is great news. And we hope to continue that going. I know our producer, Matt Lucy, is happy to see that. He might only be 18 years old, but he probably feels like he's 48 years old after this week with the way this homestand has gone.
Yeah, it has been just a battle, as everybody up here in the booth excited about that, as Biz Henderson doing a dance up here, Biz Layton up in the booth.
So yeah, we appreciate you sticking with us throughout the technical difficulties, and we hope that we put them in the past as we get deeper into this ball game and deeper into the season as well. 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for Bourne. Reggie Crawford, who has been outstanding through the first 3 games, having trouble against Harwich tonight. He's 0 for 3. watches ball 1 up and in.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a guy, too, who's not going to be around much longer for Bourne, going to Team USA soon. So, as he fouls off on the check swing, interesting to see him have a tough time tonight, whereas everyone else from Bourne seems to have gotten on base at least once in this game.
Crawford hit .294 for UConn in 2021, drove in 62 runs. Good enough to crack the top 20 in the country. Check swing, and he did offer at that breaking ball. It seems like he's been struggling with breaking pitches, but Owen Cody, the left-hander, into the game for Harwich. Going with another breaking ball and just misses. Cody making his first appearance out of Penn, the Quaker from Larchmont, New York. Pounds the zone and is big on trusting his defense. He doesn't strike out a lot of batters, but he does here as he climbs the ladder on the Braves cleanup hitter Crawford, strikes him out for out number 1 to begin the 8th.
Yeah, how about that? Cody offers him nothing but stuff on the outside part of the plate, and then next thing you know, throws it up the ladder, gets him to go down swinging. Really nice pitching there from Cody.
It's now 3 consecutive strikeouts for Harwich pitching, dating back to the 7th inning. Nick Goodwin, who was struck out twice in this game, watches ball 1, but was able to draw a walk in the 6th inning and came around to score on that weird play down the third baseline. Check swing, the appeal down to first, and Mike Robidoux says he did not swing. That is ball 2. Cody comes back with a fastball that misses outside, 3-0. Owen's father, James, played hockey at Harvard, member of the Crimson hockey team. As that misses for ball 4, so Goodwin will trot down to first base. He draws his 2nd walk of the contest.
Now batting for the Braves, number 8.
Didn't work so much this time around. Tries to pitch around Goodwin, but really nice eye at the plate from Goodwin to be able to take a 4-pitch walk.
So Colby Thomas looking to follow up his previous at-bat where he doubled out to right center in the 6th inning. It's 1 for 3. That's now 5 straight balls thrown by Cody. He's kind of done the opposite of what we've expected from him, which was before he would pound the zone and rely on his defense. He has a strikeout, but he hasn't been pounding the zone since then.
Yeah, I mean, a really dominant opening to this inning from him, striking out one of the better hitters on this Bourne squad. But some tough pitches here.
Still can't find the zone. It's 2-0. Thomas out of Mercer. Cody looks over at first base and comes home. That breaking ball is over for a strike, so you wonder if Thomas isn't liked too much by Harwich Mariners pitcher and the starter from yesterday, Billy Seidel, who attends Duke. If you remember that college basketball game back a couple of years ago, strike in there to even the count. Mercer, one of the bigger upsets you'll ever see, eliminating Duke in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Of course, that being in basketball.
Of course.
And of course, Coach K entering what will be his final season as the longtime head coach of the Duke Blue Devils. 2-2 runner going. Breaking ball swung on a miss. Strike 3. Levin's throw down. A little too high for Acton, so it's a strikeout, the 2nd for Cody in the inning, and now they're going to say batter interference. So they said that Colby Thomas got in the way of that throw, and that's going to end the inning Harvey Shapiro is over at third, muttering to the home plate umpire, Joe Caraco, who seemingly can't win tonight based on how both coaches have felt about the officiating in this one. The inning is over. We head to the bottom of the eighth. It is still 4-1 Bourne. You're watching Harwich Mariners baseball on the Mariners YouTube network.
From Gonzaga, Tristan Freely.
Bottom of the eighth from Harwich, Colin Casey, Tim Foley bring you live coverage of Harwich Mariners baseball all summer long here in 2021. It's great to be back broadcasting Cape Cod Baseball League action following the COVID-19 pandemic canceling the 2020 season. Harwich in need of a rally, trailing 4-1 to the undefeated Bourne Braves, and they will have to do it against a new pitcher for Bourne, Tristan Vreeling, the Gonzaga University product. Right-hander coming in. He will be greeted by the 8-9-1 hitters. Hal Hughes out of Rice, leading things off for Harwich.
And just to take a moment and tribute Sansone. Quite the outing from him. Retired 8 straight to open up his appearance and really did not give Harwich anything to hang their hat on.
He put himself in line for the win, going 4 innings, allowing just 2 hits while striking out 3. Didn't walk anyone either. The 1-0 to Hal Hughes is chopped foul. Tristan Vreeling, again out of Gonzaga, the Washington native, looking to come in and do what he's done so well at Gonzaga, which is close out games. He picked up 3 saves in his 2021 season. It's a big swing and a miss by Hughes. Appeared in 22 games, the 1-2 record. 3.88 ERA. Struck out 66 while walking 19. Gave up 3 home runs. 1-2 skips in, and opponents hit .240 against the 6'4", 205-pound righty. Just talking about basketball schools before the break. Here's another one. The 2-2. Ball fouled straight back.
And Vreeling, he closed it out against Brewster the other day as well for the Braves. And so, no stranger already to the Cape, even as it is.
2-2 hit out to right field by Hughes, and it gets past the dive of Tanner Schobel. A leadoff single for Hal Hughes. Can the Mariners finally start to get something going against this Braves pitching staff?
Well, you got the guy coming up who hit a home run earlier in the game, but just to take a moment, that was full extension from the second baseman, Schobel. He was just about a foot away from being on SportsCenter top 10. tomorrow. I tell you that. That was a really nice effort from Schobel at second.
Quick dive back by Hal Hughes into first on the pickoff play. Malgieri, as you mentioned, hit a laser of a home run down the left field line in the third inning. Followed that up with a sharply hit ground ball to short, where he was retired. This time he's blown away by a 92-mile-an-hour fastball for strike one. Malgieri out of Northeastern University. Freeling's 0-1. Check swing, called strike two on the outside part of the plate.
And this is some hard stuff that we are getting from Vreeling on the mound. 90 and 93 for these first two pitches.
0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three as Malgieri set down on 3 strikes. And he is out number 1 here in the home half of the 8th.
And then as I say that, kicks it up another notch and hits 94 on the radar here at White House. So he is dealing it. His speed is working.
Nick Lucky steps to the plate for the fourth time tonight. He is 1 for 3. Ground out in the first, singled in the third, grounded out in the 6th. First pitch is in for a strike. Lucky, again, came in with just 1 hit on the season. He's been able to double that total tonight. Has looked a lot more comfortable at the plate in this one. It's center field, but barely having to move is Lampy as he makes a catch and fires it back into the infield. 2 down in the 8th.
I mean, that's just a nice defensive lineup by Bourne on that last hit. Lampy shaded a bit towards left on that last at-bat as he's more in a true center field position here. He was, as you said it, Colin, barely had to move. I mean, they knew they did their scouting. They read the spread chart, and it was hit right at him.
Josh Hood, who's also 1 for 3, watches strike 1. Hit a single in the first inning, but grounded out in the third, struck out swinging in the 6th. Braves bullpen has been outstanding. So far, 4 2/3 shutout innings. 0-1 just off the plate. Another arm warming in the pen for Bourne. Tough to tell exactly who that is from here. The 1-1. Big swing by Hood, but he comes up empty. Believe it is Eric Adler who has the lone save for Bourne this season. Struck out the side in his 1 appearance. So we'll see if the Wake Forest Demon Deacon might have an opportunity to face his teammate who sits in the on-deck circle in Brock Wilkin. There's a high fly ball out to center. Lampy, backing up a couple steps, makes a catch in center, and the inning is over. So despite the leadoff single from Hal Hughes, Harwich once again kept off the scoreboard. We head to the final frame. Bourne 4, Harwich 1. You're watching Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Ninth inning from Harwich, Massachusetts. The Mariners trailing 4-1 to the Bourne Braves, who look to improve to 4-0 on the season. The Mariners, the score holds, would fall to 1-3, but still plenty of baseball left to be played, and Mariners just need to get the bats going. Tim, so far this game has been kind of what we expected it to be, although Bourne hasn't had the same outburst we've seen through the first 3 games of the season. The offense has been there, and the pitching has been there for the Braves.
It has been. Bourne with 3 multi-hit innings. They've been able to string together some hits and help drive some runs across the plate. And then, of course, you've had excellent pitching from both Omelet and Sansone to open it up. And then just last inning for the Braves had a nice outing as the count opens up to 0-1. It's just the same story for Harwich.
Breaking ball from Cody, and starts off Moylan with a couple of strikes ahead, 0-2.
I mean, the pitching is doing enough to keep them in this game, but they have not been able to score consistently throughout this season so far.
1-2 the count. Moylan 1 for 3. Struck out twice swinging, also singled in the 4th. And he lays off another breaking ball. So it does look like Eric Adler is going to be the guy in that 9th inning, and how fitting is it that he is scheduled to face his Wake Forest teammate Brock Wilkin as swing and a miss, strike 3. Josh Moylan retired on strikes for the 3rd time in this game, and there is 1 down to begin the 9th.
Yeah, that'll be a fun matchup to open up the inning with, see who gets the better of that battle.
Colton Bender digging into the plate. First few innings were not kind to him, as he was shaken up by a foul tip in the 2nd, and then struck out in his first 2 at-bats before driving in a run on an RBI single in the 6th. Could prove to be an important insurance run if the Mariners are able to put a couple of runs on the board in the bottom half of the 9th. He's ahead in the count 2-0. Fog starting to creep in out in the outfield. 3-0.
I think that's the grill here at White House Field. I mean, it just smells like smoke here.
And a 4-pitch walk for Bender as he heads down to first base, reaches base for the 2nd time tonight. 2nd walk allowed by Owen Cody. And with 1 away, Tanner Schobel looking to get things going for Bourne.
Yeah, that's the 2nd 4-pitch walk dealt to a batter by Cody on the mound through his last 2 innings.
Tanner Schobel watches a breaking ball outside. Schobel had an opportunity to really break this one open for Bourne with runners at 1st and 2nd and 1 away in the top of the 6th, but he grounded into an inning-ending double play. He's also walked and came around to score the game's first run back in the top of the 3rd, and with a 2-0 count, Tatum Levins goes out to talk with his pitcher. Quick conversation as he heads back behind the plate. There is some action in the Mariners bullpen, a right-hander getting loose. Bender takes his lead off first. The 2-0 pitch. Curveball misses high.
Again, Cody, he really likes his off-speed stuff. He's been going to it time and time again, but he's just missing the zone, and these Bourne batters aren't chasing. It's not looking good.
Taking all the way is Schobel, and that fastball gets over.
I mean, that's what you need at this point. You're down in the count 3-0. Go after the guy with a fastball, and Cody delivers.
3-1 is hit out towards center field. Malgier gets a good jump on it, but instead it's Lucky who comes over from right. Nope, it actually was Malgieri who makes the catch. Lucky kind of lunged at it the last second, but pulled his glove back because Malgieri was camped under it. Those outfielders probably making Coach Engler a little nervous, but regardless, 2 down here in the 9th.
Yeah, Lucky sort of set a screen for Malgieri out in center, as I figured the guy diving behind it had not made the catch, as you had thought, Colin, but a nice glove by Malgieri as he's sliding, able to keep a track on it.
Joe Lampe bluffs a bunt and takes strike 1. This is his 5th trip to the plate. The leadoff man has reached base 3 times, walked in the 1st, stole 2nd, singled, came around to score on a wild pitch in the 3rd, singled in the 5th, popped out to 1st in the 7th. Nice off-speed pitch from Cody, and the count is now 0-2.
I mean, it's so important for a pitcher to be able to get out ahead of a batter in a count like this at a point in the game, such as this one. This is, I think, the first time Cody's really been up on a guy.
Fastball misses in. Win in this game would go to Michael Sansone. For Bourne, the loss would be charged with Andrew Mosiello, who wasn't too bad in his 3 innings pitched. And time is called. I think Levins was actually the one who called it.
Yeah, umpire making sure it's known that despite Cody throwing the pitch, it was his own catcher calling for time. I know sometimes you'll get coaches upset over that. So Caraco making sure that that is all cleared up.
Off-speed 1-2, misses down and outside.
Cody was ahead in the count 0-2, but playing around the zone a bit now. Really likes to try and get these batters to chase, but Bourne's so disciplined.
2-2 pitch, breaking ball in there, strike 3. Lampe knew it, and the inning is over. So Owen Cody pitches a pair of scoreless innings to keep the deficit at 3. Mariners will need 3 to tie and 4 to win in the home half of inning number 9. That's where we're headed. You're watching Harwich Mariners baseball on the Mariners YouTube network. Bottom of the 9th for the Harwich Mariners, their last opportunity as they trail 4-1 to the visiting Bourne Braves. And they will have to complete the comeback against Eric Adler in his 2nd appearance with Bourne this season. He was very effective in the 1 inning he pitched. Did give up 2 hits, but he struck out the side and earned a save. The Melbourne, Florida native will be greeted by his college teammate Brock Wilkin, followed by Cade Beloso and Tatum Levins. A quick housekeeping issue to tell you about. Moving to first base from the designated hitter spot is Reggie Crawford. Joshua Moylan is out, and he is replaced by Adler, who would now be in the 7 hole as a batter, but that's likely not going to take place.
Yeah, I mean, it would take quite the series of events to see Adler come up to the plate in this game. But, of course, focusing on the bottom half of the inning here, I mean, it's been frustrating for Harwich these past 2 innings. You get the leadoff guy on both in the 7th and 8th inning, but then the next 3 guys go down, or at least in the case of the 7th inning, you had Jenkins strike out, Acton fly out, and then Levens, who was on first, ended up being caught stealing. And so the Mariners not really able to send guys around the bases so far this game. They've had one guy touch third and be safe on it. That was Nick Lucky, of course, discounting the home run Malgeri as he passed third, came home to score.
So in steps Brock Wilkin. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out in the 1st and the 3rd. Reached via an error in the 6th. Battle of the Demon Deacons. The right-hander Adler has got quite the velocity on his fastball. Comes home. First pitch misses up at 93.
Yeah, how's that for a how you doing, teammate? Some chin music to knock Wilkin back a step.
Adler working exclusively from the stretch. Fastball at 94 catches the outside corner. Wilkin coming off a 2-hit, 2 RBI performance 2 nights ago against Hyannis. He waves and misses at a high fastball, 1-2. 4 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for Bourne, 1 run on 6 hits, no errors for Harwich. One-two is right down the middle for strike 3 as Wilkin called out on strikes. Good start for Adler. 1 down in the bottom of the 9th.
Tough to see one of your top hitters go down right at the beginning of an important inning. Of course, you get a guy like Beloso who had a hit in his last at-bat. He's been pretty good for you all season long so far across 3 games. And you need him in a big spot here to try and boost the Mariners.
Mariners have struck out 8 times in this game. They actually won that battle in terms of pitching as Cade Beloso watches strike 1. Mariners pitching has struck out 16 batters out of the 27 outs they've recorded. Adler's 0-1, misses up and away.
And Harwich, I know we've harped on it a bit, but I mean, coming into today with the fewest runs in the league at 6, now at 7.
Beloso fouls that one straight back. Just a lot of it came down to not getting the big hits when they mattered. Another issue, at least up until the Hyannis game, was they weren't getting many extra base hits either. Of course, the 1 run in this game coming off an extra base hit, the solo home run for 9-hitter Ben Malgeri.
Yeah, coming into today, tied for the fewest extra base hits with Brewster at 3.
1-2 is in there for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts looking for Eric Adler to begin the 9th inning, and the Mariners are down to their final out.
I mean, just some excellent pitching so far we're seeing on the mound here. I mean, 2 strikeouts looking in a relief appearance. That's exactly what you're hoping for if you're Brave, or if you're the Braves.
So Tatum Levens, the last opportunity for Harwich. Adler's first pitch misses up and away. The 1-0 from the righty. Swing and a miss.
I mean, there's no catching up to that. That's a really nice pitch up high. That high fastball, so tough to lay off of sometimes. And seeing why there as Levens didn't get any of it, but I mean, you see it so well.
1-1 misses up and away. Game has gone final out in Hyannis. Falmouth with a 4-3 victory over the Harbor Hawks. 2-run 8th inning, proving to be the difference. The 2-1 misses low. And the only other game in action tonight actually just went final as well. Wareham Gateman with a 4-2 victory against the Orleans Firebirds. Adler comes set. 3-1 to Levens. That's in there for a called strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Mariners down 3. Andrew Jenkins waits on deck. The pitch. Breaking ball outside for ball 4. And Harwich has a little bit of life. 2-out base runner.
Yeah, you take what you can get, and a walk with 2 outs. And now you have Andrew Jenkins, of course, 0 for 3 today, but all that matters is the current at-bat and what you're able to do with the opportunity in front of you. A big spot for Jenkins.
First pitch to Jenkins. Fastball at 93. At the knees for a strike. Andrew Jenkins 0 for 3. Struck out looking in his last at-bat. He's 0 for 7 in his last 2 games. And he falls behind 0-2.
Man, Adler just loves to attack that zone, and he has been doing it relentlessly here in his relief appearance so far.
Mariners once again down to their final strike. Levens takes his lead off first. The 0-2. Fouled off to the right.
It's a good job defending there by Jenkins. Able to foul one off, stay alive in this at-bat. Adler's shown he's got the stuff to blow by people. Just fouling it off, keeps it going.
The 0-2 misses down at the ankles. Even with a loss today, Harwich would still remain a game and a half back with Chatham and YD both losing, Orleans as well. So Brewster picking up their first win of the season. What's been a really competitive East Division through the first week of play. The 1-2. Jenkins jammed, but he's able to stay alive. Out west, Bourne, of course, if they're able to hang on, improved to 4-0. And would hold a game and a half lead over Falmouth, who was victorious tonight. Current run differential, 29-10 for Bourne. Just an outstanding start to this season. Eric Adler with the 1-2, runner going, and it misses just low as Levens advances to second on defensive indifference.
Yeah, no reason really for Bender to worry about that behind the plate. I mean, you got a 3-run lead, you got a guy on the ropes. Just focus on what you can control with the pitcher.
Adler's 2-2. Hard ground ball to short, glove down by Knapsick. The throw is in time and the ball game is over. So a 3-run third inning proving to be the difference as the Bourne Braves start their season 4-0 for the first time since 2016. Final score from White House Field, Bourne 4, Harwich 1. We'll wrap things up in just a moment. Stay tuned. Once again, the Braves come away victorious over the Mariners from Harwich. Stay tuned for the wrap-up You're watching Harwich Mariners baseball on the Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back to White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts, where the Bourne Braves continue their red-hot start to the 2021 CCBL season and defeat the Harwich Mariners on the road by a final score of 4-1. Tim, it was really a lot of what we expected out of this game. Good pitching from both sides, and really, just like it has been all season long for the Braves, that one big inning doing the Mariners in the third inning, where just took one walk from Tanner Schobel and then a string of hits, and all of a sudden the Mariners were behind the 8-ball early, and that's just so hard to come back against when Bourne has such an outstanding bullpen.
Yeah, they'll jump on you when they get the chance, and you said it, just a dominant performance from this Bourne bullpen, only allowing 3 hits once the starter Omlid was taken out of the game across Sansone, Vreeling, and Adler. I mean, it's just been very difficult for Harwich to string together hits so far this season. As you said, a lot of what we expected. Good pitching from both sides, good hitting from Bourne, but the Mariners, again, leave a lot to be desired at the plate. Had a couple of chances back in the 7th and 8th inning where you got the leadoff guy on, but couldn't ultimately capitalize on it, and it's those opportunities where you get a guy on with no outs, with 1 out, and you have to be able to drive him around, and you have to be able to get him across the plate. I mean, in this game, Mariners stranding, by my count, 5 runners. They didn't really get on base all that much. It's not like they drove many of those runners around to score. And so, another frustrating night at the plate for Harwich, but still plenty of good promising things that you're seeing from your pitching staff, your bullpen. Excellent outings from Mosiello, Wilkinson, Simon, and Cody. You mentioned it earlier, 16 strikeouts for Harwich in this game. Certainly pitching, doing what it needed to.
4 runs on 8 hits, 1 error in this one for the Bourne Braves. They left 6 batters on base. The Mariners plating 1 run via the solo shot from Ben Malgieri back in the 3rd inning. 6 hits, they did not commit any errors, and stranded 5 runners on base. The win of this one goes to Fairfield's Michael Sansone, who is straight up dominant out of the bullpen, going 4 innings, surrendering just 2 hits, no walks, no runs, struck out 3. The loss in this one goes to Andrew Mosiello, who, despite striking out 6 batters, only went 3 innings, giving up 3 runs on 3 hits, and he walked 2. Eric Adler was lights out coming out of the pen in the 9th inning. He locked it down for his second save of the Cape League season, punching out a pair of Mariners batters en route to that save. Tomorrow, the Mariners head out on the road to Falmouth to take on the Commodores. That game scheduled to begin at 6 o'clock out on the road. As for Bourne, they will return home to host the Wareham Gatemen. That game also set to begin at 6 o'clock at Doran Park. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. For our producer, Matt Lucy, for my broadcast partner, Tim Foley, I'm Colin Casey. Thanks for tuning in once again. Final score from White House Field, Bourne 4, Harwich 1. This has been another edition of Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network.